Yeah, I think he's got a really tricky job. Obviously, I think that his last or speech a couple of months ago, investors clearly took that as a more dovish tilt. We had those June lows in equities. But if you look at what most of the Fed speakers have done since then, you look at comments from Daly, you look at comments from Kashkari this week, they've really all tried to push back on that more dovish message. And I think Chairman Powell is going to try to do that tomorrow as well. So I think he is likely to reaffirm that they are going to do whatever it takes, or perhaps whatever it breaks, to combat that inflation problem. I really don't think that Powell wants to go down as the chairman that lost control of inflation. So I suspect he's going to strike quite a hawkish message tomorrow, and I fear that that's not necessarily going to be taken by the market particularly well.
Ben, the world's second largest economy has just announced a 19-point plan, including tens of billions of dollars worth of fresh stimulus for industry and support for the property market. Does that come through in market picks? Does it affect the momentum towards economic slowdown at all? I mean, this is a big announcement from China here, but apart from a bit of a pop in the China-related indices, it doesn't seem to have had that much of an impact so far.
No, I think it's interesting. I mean, it is a fairly substantial number that's been announced, but I think we have to put it into context that it's coming on the back of other numbers that have been announced in similar infrastructure plans from China over recent years. I think what it does indicate, and it goes to what is happening in Europe as well, is that there is this general sort of shift globally to focus on more infrastructure plans, and that does tilt us in certainly our sector picks at the moment. So I think globally, over the sort of more medium to longer term, you do want to be exposed to some of those infrastructure plays because of what China is doing and because of what Europe is doing. So today's news doesn't necessarily materially change anything for us, but it does add a little bit of support for that more sort of sector tilt, that you do want to be focused on those areas that are exposed to infrastructure spending. So it tilts you a little bit to industrials, which sadly haven't been performing particularly well over the summer. And there's going to be concerns there around the demand conditions. But I think on a more medium to longer term trend, those areas should get support from these types of plans. And I don't think this is the last of those kind of plans that we'll see announced from places like China and other parts of the world.